I haven't made a video of the Jeep in a while. Figured I'd give a little rundown of this. We ended up putting the poison spotter, hood louver on. I did not cut out for the rear vents, but I did cut out these two sections, the left and the right. Did do that. What else did we do? I don't know if I made a video on this or not. Put these Rubicon shocks, these extended shocks on the front and the back of the Jeep. Put these flat fenders. Those are fantastic. They weren't too bad to put on. The only tough part was building, or not building, but making the outline, the template of what to cut. You can kind of see. Basically, you just cut the metal out and it fits over the top of it. Those are awesome. Put those rock sliders on. Now these are for a TJ, because that's the style I was wanting, is where they would stop in a straight line, but I was hoping they would have went all the way up to meet the edge of the fender, but they did not. Like I say, that's because it's for a TJ, and of course the body mounts don't line up underneath, but at least one mount lines up, and that's the one on the rear for both sides. What else we done inside? Rhino line the floor, not rhino line, bed liner the floor. Went with Herculiner, roll-in liner. It turned out great. It's been in here, I don't know, at least a month, or at least close to it. Got a new windshield put in, steering wheel, changed the steering wheel on it. It looks a lot better. Put the black instrument cluster bezel. That's nice. I wanted to break up the color so it wasn't all tan. Got the shift knob with the inlay. The one that was on it was faded out. Sealed up the tunnel real good. I got some Butol, like sound deadening stuff. Went around the edge of it. I ended up changing both seats to the new style best top seat. Put a sound bar up top. Change the padding to black. That's freaking awesome. Remember, there was some rust in the floorboard. I'll tell you what I ended up doing. I did not change the floor pan. One day, that's what we'll tackle, but for the time being, I said no. I just fiberglassed it. Fiberglassed it up, and it did. Let's see if, yeah, it's a lot of sun. Let's see if we can get it from this side. You know, it's not perfect, but you know what? It works. So I'm not going to complain. Oh, what else did we do? Oh, I got black door panels with these style handles for both doors. Now, I did have one issue on the right side. The driver's side, see, well, both of them have this pocket. This one fit fine. It doesn't come in contact with the seat. The passenger side comes in contact with the seat, and the door wouldn't shut. I didn't want to, but I mean, these panels were only $80, something like that. I mean, they were cheap, so who cares? I just cut it off. I just cut the pocket off. Grinded it off. That's it. Easy peasy. I was having an issue with the temperature gauge not working. It does now. I just had to resolder the connections on the back of the gauge. Cleaned them up because they were a little crusty. Black visors, put those on. Rear view mirror, this Jeep didn't have a rear view mirror in it when I got it. Pull handles, I have no clue what brand these are, but they work fine. The top I've not replaced yet. We're still going to do that at some point in time. Okay, put a new windshield seal. And by God, this Jeep still leaks. It leaks in the floor. I can't get rid of it. I believe I put new hinges. Now I will tell you this. These are Rugged Ridge, I think, hinges. They are absolute garbage. They are crap. If you look at that, see how crooked that is? See how crooked that is? The top portion? I think it looks worse in person. It is absolute crap. See that? Anyway, the windshield, it is 100% not leaking from this seal, because I have no plans whatsoever to lower this windshield down. So what I ended up doing was put some silicone weather stripping silicone underneath where the seal meets the tub of the Jeep, and then also on the top side of the seal where it mounts up to the windshield. Close that sucker up, wrapped it all the way around, all the way across. It is not leaking from there. Where I believe it's leaking from is through the bolt holes. Water is somehow trickling its way. Now, I did put a little bit of silicone on the back side of this whenever we put it onto the tub and ran the bolts through. But, I mean, it's not a huge amount of water. If it's just casually raining outside, I mean, you'll have a stream. I mean, if it's a downpour, you'll have a little bit of a puddle. But it's running down the side here. I also put new body filler or seam sealer along the whole edge of this and ran it across this way, so it's not leaking from there or here. I put a new seal here for the hood. It is not leaking from there. It has to be leaking from these, because a lot of times, I mean, that has to be the only spot it could come from. But it comes down here. It leaks down this way, and it just fills up the floor, kind of sort of over here. So, what else did we do? I put this cowl vent. That helps with the airflow. I put new gaskets under here. And of course I faced it rearward. It is not clogged up inside. I also resealed around the washer nozzles. I mean, I resealed around everything. Pretty much damn near everything. The antenna, I got an antenna off of TJ. Because this Jeep, I don't know what was here. I don't know if that's where the antenna went. I have no clue what went here. There was a hole. It was very strange. It was offset in this Jeep. I don't know what kind of antenna they had on it. I did buy a YJ antenna that had like the V-style mounting. But you couldn't use it because it would overlap and hang over the Jeep. The P on the Jeep name here. So I got the TJ style, and it fits perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I like that. So you can see here where I cut this off. So it's not pretty, but guess what? Who cares? I mean, it was a cheap thing. What I may end up doing, it's not really a problem. The door seal on both sides. I should have rhino lined that also, or bed lined that. I think that would have made a nice touch. Put new speakers behind the dash. The heater box. Took the heater box out, put a new heater core, and the upgraded style Chevy blower motor. I mean, that thing is like a wind tunnel. It's wide freaking open. It's nice. It's awesome. Definitely do that upgrade if you have a YJ. What else here? I don't think I changed anything else under here. I did reseal the box. Every seal that the box would have had, I put new seals in. So everything is brand hammer new. But she still leaks. Now this side, on the passenger side, it'll trickle down over here at the edge of the floor. I don't have a freaking clue where. But I have not got in here and ran a water hose in certain areas. I haven't done that. I just look at it after it's raining and then kind of just brainstorm where it's coming from. Push comes to shove, I will do that. I'll get inside and run some water down. Let's look around the back side. I think it's just the same thing. I haven't did anything else. When we had the fuel tank down, we did finish putting all the bolts in the rear bumper. I mean, I have pulled some stuff with this Jeep. I kid you not. I bought a 0-turn mower, pulled it no problem. I got 3 loads, or 2 loads. No, 3 loads. I got 3 loads of fill dirt, a ton each. Pulled it no problem. And the worst thing, the heaviest thing I pulled was a pallet of sod. Now you definitely could tell it had some weight behind it. So, another thing I ended up doing, I didn't want to get this. I mean, this is a regular style tailpipe, but it's got those crappy bends in it. I really didn't want this one, but that's all they had that was available. I ended up having to replace the muffler because the rear drive shaft broke. at a stop sign, which is like what most YJs end up happening to them. It just crushed the muffler. So I took the muffler off. I put this is one of those Thrush welded mufflers. It's like a 2-chamber style Flowmaster. I got that put on, and I welded on the tailpipe. And what I ended up doing is I got rid of the strap style for, you know, the straps that actually hold the drive shaft to the differential. I got the U-bolt style where you have to drill it out. You run the U-bolts through it with bolts or nuts on the back. That joker ain't going anywhere. Now, I noticed I do have another leak on the back of the transfer case. I believe, I haven't wiped it down, I just noticed it yesterday. I believe it's either coming from the tail shaft portion, this seal, and then running down, or it's coming from the 2 halves of the case. Either way, I'm going to split that apart and change the seals there. I'll put a new tail shaft seal there at the same time. And you know what? That was not leaking until the U-joint or the drive shaft broke loose. It was not leaking. So it must have been all that excess vibration just did something goofy. I don't know. But luckily, thank God, we weren't going down the road highway speeds. That would have been really bad. And we were just on the interstate, rolling 60 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour. Yep, it would have been bad. Another thing I was gonna do, you know, the front axle disconnect, this vacuum operated, I was gonna get rid of that because the 4-wheel drive wasn't working. I was gonna get rid of those and actually run a cable and operate it manually. So I ordered that kit, and I went to take this off, the cover. Get under here. Took the axle disconnect off, and what do you know? The collar that it slides back and forth, people we got it from, they welded it. They welded it to the shaft, so it's always locked in. But since, you know, it slips in the front axle, or, you know, the carrier, that's not really a problem. It turns just fine. You know, it's always locked up pretty much, but nothing, you know, you're not gonna get stuck. But other than that, that's where we're at with the Jeep. Got a few more plans for it. Still got to get a winch. Still looking to get a winch. And what else did I say? Oh man, there's so many things going on. Winch and blah blah blah. Having a brain fart, everybody. I don't know. Winch and something else. It'll come to me later. You guys know what I'm talking about.